Imagine a mystery so disturbing that after 60 years, the world still hasn't found an answer. 9 elite hikers dead in the frozen wilderness of the Ural Mountains. A tent ripped open from the inside, bodies scattered in the snow. Some nearly naked, others with injuries that defy medical logic. We are talking about the Dyatlov Pass Incident, a story involving radiation, missing tongues, and a secret Soviet investigation that was buried for decades. Today, we go deeper than ever before. This is not just a tragedy, it's a puzzle of survival and terror. To understand the horror, we first have to understand the victims. Igor Dyatlov wasn't just a student. He was a brilliant engineer and a legendary outdoorsman. His team consisted of the best hikers at the Ural Polytechnic Institute. They weren't tourists. They were hardened survivors who knew how to handle a blizzard. Among them was Semyon Zolotaryov, an older veteran of World War II, with mysterious tattoos that no one could fully explain. These people didn't panic easily, so what could have been so terrifying that it broke the spirit of 9 battle-hardened explorers in a single night? We know their final moments because of the cameras found at the site. The photos show a group in high spirits, despite the brutal winds. But there is one final photo, frame number 33. It's a blurry, chaotic mess of light and shadow. Some investigators claim it's just a mistake in the dark, while conspiracy theorists believe it captures the last thing they saw, a glowing orb descending from the sky. They set up their tent on the slope of Kolatsyakal, the mountain of the dead. It was a strange choice, as it left them exposed to the elements. Little did they know they were sleeping on a graveyard. At some point during the night of February 1st, 1959, chaos erupted. The hikers were inside their sleeping bags when something triggered an immediate flight response. They didn't even use the zipper. They took knives and slashed through the side of the tent. They ran down the slope toward a distant forest, mostly barefoot, leaving behind their coats and boots. Forensic evidence shows they walked in an orderly fashion at first, then started running. They were heading for a cedar tree 1.5 kilometers away. Why would 9 experts choose to face a blizzard without shoes rather than stay in their tent? The first search parties arrived weeks later. They found Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonishenko under a massive cedar tree. They were wearing only their underwear. Their hands were shredded, with skin stuck to the bark, suggesting they had desperately tried to climb the tree. But why? Were they hiding from something on the ground? Or were they trying to spot their tent in the dark? Nearby, the searchers found Igor Dyatlov. He was clutching a branch, facing the direction of the tent. He died trying to crawl back to his gear. But the real horror was still hidden deep beneath the snow. Three months later, the spring thaw revealed the remaining 4 hikers in a ravine. This is where the story turns into a nightmare. Unlike the first bodies, these 4 had suffered massive internal trauma. Nicolas Thibault Brignoles had his skull crushed. Lyudmila Dubinina and Semyon Zolotaryov had their rib cages completely flattened. The doctor who performed the autopsies said the force required was equivalent to a high-speed car crash. Yet, there were no bruises. It was as if their bones had been crushed from the inside by intense pressure. And then there are the biological anomalies. Lyudmila Dubinina was found without her tongue and without her eyes. Some claim it was just natural decomposition or scavengers, but the area was frozen solid. Furthermore, the clothes of the victims were tested, and the results were shocking. They were highly radioactive. This detail was kept out of the official public reports for years. If this was just an avalanche, why was there radiation? Why were their skins described by mourners at the funerals as being a deep, unnatural orange or brick red color? During the Cold War, the Ural Mountains were a hotbed for secret Soviet technology. Local Mansi tribesmen and even other hiking groups reported seeing orange spheres floating in the sky during the night the hikers died. Could the group have stumbled into a restricted testing zone for parachute mines or fuel air explosives? A sudden explosion above the tent would explain the pressure injuries, the radiation, and the orange skin. It would also explain why the KGB was involved in the investigation from day one, and why they suddenly closed the case, blaming it on an unknown compelling force. If it wasn't the military, could it have been the mountain itself? Some scientists suggest a phenomenon called an Idov vortex. The wind hitting the peak of the mountain could have created infrasound, a low-frequency noise that humans can't hear, but that triggers intense psychological panic, nausea, and a feeling of impending doom. This silent sound could have driven them mad. And then there is the local legend of the Menk. The Mansi people believe a race of giant forest dwellers protects the mountain. One of the hikers' final diary entries mentioned, "Now we know that the snowmen exist." Was it a joke or a final warning? In 2020, Russia reopened the case and officially blamed a slab avalanche. But for many, this feels like a cover-up. An avalanche doesn't explain the missing tongue, the radioactive clothes, or the orange orbs in the sky. The Dyatlov Pass remains a place of silence and shadows. 9 young lives were cut short by something so terrifying that it has haunted the world for over 6 decades. What do you think happened on that lonely mountain? Was it nature, science, or something supernatural? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and remember, some mysteries are better left buried in the snow.